hello there, beautiful people. Come sit and have a cup of coffee with me, a cup of tea, glass of water, whatever you want. Let's just get snuggy wuggy and talk, because I've been actually laughing and joking around with my husband, because he's like, every time you say you're going to get off of the Gypsy-Rose crap, you go right back to it. And I'm like, it's because I keep seeing stupid crap that she does that it's like, she hasn't changed a bit.
Hey, how come you didn't stop? I don't want it. You didn't want to stop? No? Okay, so what? Okay, good one.
FYI, the only thing you really need to know about that, if you're still supporting her, is that she did not have a trial. There was no jury. There was no judge that saw all of the evidence that has come out. And no one dug past it, because it did look like a pretty legitimate defense that her attorney brought up and manipulated. And he may have even been bamboozled. I don't think that anybody really hired any experts. Moving along, there was no trial for Gypsy-Rose. She appeared in Nick Godejohn's trial. That's it. And there was a very limited amount of evidence that we're seeing now that was actually seen. And that was a completely separate trial anyways. It wouldn't have mattered in the case that she got a plea deal. A plea deal, there is no trial. There is no, they've agreed to certain punishments for the statutes that were violated, the laws that were violated, the crimes that were committed. That is what they agree to. Anyway, so that's all you need to know about that. If you're a supporter of Gypsy-Rose, you shouldn't be, really, because her story of abuse is actually a lie. Dee Dee did not force all those things on her. Those procedures were mostly necessary. Ask yourself, what doctor is going to perform a procedure, whether it's a dentist, whatever surgeon, what doctor, what professional is going to perform a procedure they don't think is necessary? I just need to know. You can fake cancer to the public by getting online and saying this or that and the other, but you don't get treatment for it from a doctor if you don't have it, or if they think with a viable reason that you have it and you need the treatment. Why would they do that? Ask yourself that. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? If they thought she was lying, they wouldn't have done any of those procedures. Are they going to take her word over their own expertise? Come on now, use your brain. I know you got one in there. That's all you really need to know about that. That's why no one saw this evidence back when she was given the plea deal, the sweetheart deal that she was given. She knows she got away with it, and she keeps rubbing it in everybody's faces, and she keeps using you. If you want to continue to keep your head buried in the sand in that, go for it. Kudos to the people that keep covering it. This is going to be my last little blurb about it, because I can't believe there's people out there that don't understand how the system works, and that there is no trial when someone is offered a plea deal. The fact that you don't know that means you need to go research it before you have a strong opinion about people that are like, yeah, you need to go look at this. You need to go examine the evidence. She's lying. She lied. Just go do your due diligence. Go understand how the law works. Go understand policy and procedures before you have that strong of an opinion. Her abuse, I do not believe, was authentic as she tries to paint it, in my opinion. There might have been manipulations, but what I've seen, it looks more like she was the abuser and she was controlling everybody around her by lying and manipulating. Anyway, so moving on from that. I just saw a video that Entertainment Tonight released about Jack White from the White Stripes had apparently said something along the lines of Taylor Swift's writing lyric choices were boring, and he didn't like how she did it. And now the Swifties are coming after him. Now, I like Taylor Swift. I think that her style of writing for her genre of music is perfectly fine. People enjoy it, or she wouldn't have the following that she has. My ultimate point to this is I would rather musicians and entertainers be talking about this kind of stuff than I want them talking about politics and how I should believe this way of thinking or that way of thinking because they're a celebrity and somehow they're an expert in that. I don't want to hear that shit. You are not like me. They not like us. They not like us. No, they not like us at all. They're not living paycheck to paycheck. They have millions of dollars. Some of them make 6 figures a year doing nothing. That's just doing nothing. That's not including any sponsors or interviews or movies or ads or whatever. That's just them doing nothing. That's their residuals from stuff they've already done, and they're making money off of that. Just they could literally, if they could live off of six figures, even a low six figures, right? If they could live off of that for the year by budgeting themselves through the year, living off of doing nothing, they could literally sit in their house and do nothing and still make six figures a year. So you're not like me. You're not like other people. Now I do have, I'm not even going to pretend like I don't have a cush life, because I do, in the sense that my husband and I have a business. I don't want to go into specifics because y'all be sharing too much out here, but he is the provider. He does an amazing job, and I'm able to stay home, take care of the house, take care of the bills, take care of the grocery shopping, take care of all of the things that come with being a stay-at-home wife. All of our children are grown, so that is what it is. And so I'm doing this mainly because I just want something to do. It does get boring. I'm a homebody, and I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. It's a fucking dumpster fire out there, folks. And I'm sure y'all noticed. I'm okay staying at home. People are weird now. They're rude. It's like they go out of their way to misunderstand people, and I don't understand that. So I'm good chilling here. I don't have a 9 to 5, but I make sure the laundry's done. I make sure the dishes are done. Sometimes he's like, we have our little fun drinking night and listen to music and get up the next day, and he's the one that makes breakfast or lunch or maybe all of it. And he'll do the dishes. He's not leaving everything to me if I don't want to do it. And I'll tell him, just leave it and I'll get to it. I'm not doing it right now because I'm hungover. Or whatever. But he does what he does for a living allows us that luxury. We're still on a budget. We still have a budget. We still have paycheck to paycheck. While it affords us that, understand that if at any point this business were to fail or go under or start heading that way, I would absolutely get a job. I do, from time to time, try to do things with the contractual stuff that's online, because with what he does, I need to be available to him in the event that he needs directional assistance or something printed out or anything like that, or to run him something if he's in the area or whatever. Me having a 9 to 5 doesn't really work for what he does for a living, so that I am available for him at all times. Well, not all times, but you understand. Just freely available. But I would go get a job. I've worked 90% of my living years. I started at a very young age with the babysitting, and then I got a little side hustle that paid pretty good for my age in the 90s. So it really is not there's no objection on my end to do that. His job has just allowed us to have this lifestyle. And I've worked in other businesses similar to our own while we had the business. So it's if something works, I'll do it. I have no problems with that. Move on from that, because it is what it is. The ultimate reason for bringing that up is so that I'm not ignoring the fact that we are in a better spot than a lot of people are, and we're grateful for that spot and what allows us to have that. You start getting into musicians and actors and actresses and all these people that have something to fucking say about how our government's organized, about this, about that, when they full well know that there's no real choice. They're all the same. They just play a different role. They've been scripted a role. The people speaking on them, the celebrities, the musicians, they've been given a role. I just heard a guy talk about how he's a paid actor at a fucking mall. He's paid to literally walk around and act as though he's shopping to get other people to go shopping. Do you understand the fucking bullshit reality that we're in? Do you understand it at all? And then we've got these people that we're supposed to look up to as if they're the most moral people in the world because they do a couple of good things for a couple of fundraising, whatever crap they believe in. And I guess I should say not crap, but things that they support things that they believe in that do seem on the surface to be important. I have my reservations because I've worked on the customer service side of fundraisers for religious icons. And I see the amount of money, and it's fully available to you as well. It's not like it was some big secret. You just had to ask for the information of how much money actually goes. And I think this has actually been a topic that's come up, how much money actually goes from fundraisers or organizations that raise money by donations. Very little of it actually goes to the people or animals or whatever that need it. Most of it is going to the people running the show at the very top. It's certainly not the low man on the totem pole customer service people. It's not, definitely not going to them. And they also get zero credit outside of the organization, if that organization even bothers to give them credit at all for anything that they do. This even includes things like the homeless programs. I think it was Joe Rogan maybe that covered the fact that all these programs out in LA and California in general, but mostly LA, I think is what he was talking about, how these organizers get paid six figures a year, high six figures, to run these homeless programs. And then there's no money being put into the actual program where it needs to be to actually make a change, to make a positive impact on that issue. And that's true across the board with a lot of these. Will you donate so-and-so? Will you round up your dollar to... No. Why don't you? You're a multi-billion-dollar company that probably has investments in many different industries. So why don't you round up my dollar out of your pocket? And I'm not being rude. I just know that the money doesn't go, because I would rather hand a homeless person or whatever terms we're using. I'm too old for that, because it's a real, the words mean the same. The words mean the same thing as they meant before we changed the words. So why isn't it still triggering? And that's why we changed it. It's just that right there is fucking ridiculous. Self-deletion means the same thing as what it meant before. Do you understand why that sounds so ridiculous that we have to change that word? Doesn't mean people are being insensitive to that particular struggle that someone may have faced or that a family is facing after the fact. It's just what it is. That we don't need to change words unless they're full of absolute total hate. And you can tell when somebody's saying something if they're being hateful. That absolutely should be reported. All this other nonsense is just way too much 1984 for me. True speak. But yeah, I would much rather hand my money, my cash, my coins, whatever I have on me, to a homeless individual directly. Because regardless of how that person chooses to use that money, because I use money to buy stupid shit that I don't need, not as much anymore because I have to be careful because everything's so fucking ridiculously expensive now. You know, I have used money to buy dumb shit. So who am I to say if he decides or she decides to go buy something that we think, why are you wasting the money that I just gave you for free? No, I don't care how you use it. This is just me, you know, oh, hey, I have a moment to make a direct impact on somebody's life, not a direct impact into a CEO's life or whoever. I don't even know. It's not probably a CEO. That's a different term for people that run those operations. Needless to say, it's always better to just do something direct if you can, where you can, to make the best impact, I think. And one could argue, oh, well, they're going to go buy a bottle of booze with that money that you just gave them, and they're an alcoholic and you're contributing to their demise. And while that's true, if you believe in God or a higher being, we were given, regardless of what you believe in, we were given free will. So it's not up to me how that person uses that money or that object or whatever it is that you're giving. It's not up to us. It's up to the individual. Right? Why are we not allowing individuals to be individuals and clocking everything that they do and bitching about everything they do? There's so many more important things going on in our reality, quote unquote reality, that need to be addressed than dumb, petty shit. Petty shit. And so that's enough of that. At any rate, that's what I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all of the things that you do. And I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.